2030.
Dr. Hanaa, thank you very much. Let's also now conclude with our new segment, which we introduced two episodes ago, and that is the shoutouts.
Let's do a shout out. So I want to do a shout out to Dunya Abutaleb. So she was the Saudi Olympic contestant who was competing for, what was it? Hang on a second.
Taekwondo, or is it
It was Taekwondo, but I'm just looking at her category. So she was in the flyweight under 49 kg category in Taekwondo. And she made it to the quarterfinals and just came short of a bronze medal. So it's unfortunate she didn't come home with a medal, but she made it pretty far. And what was exciting about her, and I loved how kind of her journey was reported as a real win for Saudi women and real win for Saudi women in the Olympics. She was one of the first people to qualify for the Paris Olympics. So shout out to her for making it to the quarterfinals, for being one of the strongest Saudi Olympians that competed, and for really making headlines and for opening doors for more Saudi women to compete in the future.
There is a Saudi Taekwondo Federation that's part of the Olympic Federation for Saudi Arabia, and that it encompasses, it was originally named, the Taekwondo, Karate, and Judo Federation. And yeah, I mean, this is really cool. Very happy for her, and what a cool journey. It must have been really fun to be in Paris with all of the best athletes in the world. And she held her own, it sounds like. So congratulations to her. And looking forward to Los Angeles in 2028. Perhaps she sharpens the skills even more and comes home with some hardware. We'll see. But anyway, congratulations to her. My shout out, Dr. Hanaa, is I think to the first non-Saudi in the shout out section. But I do want to give a shout out to Sir Edward Byrne. He is the new president of KAUST. KAUST is, of course, the King Abdullah University of Science Technology. That is one of the most impressive universities and campuses I've ever seen in my life. It is the beacon of Saudi Arabia in terms of education, one of the best schools in the world, and just truly one of the more impressive places that you can visit. It's north of Jeddah in a town called Thuwal, and it's about, is that right, Thuwal? I think so.
Thuwal.
Thank you. Yes. And so it's about an hour north if you go to Jeddah. If you want to go, you fly into Jeddah and you drive north. And it's, first of all, world-class university. They have some excellent areas in which they're leading their fields, especially in things like marine science and other things like agriculture. They have two very large supercomputers there, some of the largest supercomputers in the world. And that is a campus that it's like going there and looking into a future or a variation of a future of Saudi Arabia that is just, it's almost hard to describe. But anyway, I wanted to give a shout out, not just to Sir Edward Byrne, who is new president as of September 1st, but also to the KAUST community, which is an incredible community, especially for entrepreneurs and technologists and those who are really doing deep technology, advanced sciences. I think he replaces Tony Chan, who was there and had a long duration as new president. Of course, His Royal Highness, the Crown Prince, announced a new strategy for KAUST to sort of accelerate some of the technology development and entrepreneurship and give it incentives to sort of bring it into the market and to start creating jobs and contribute to the economy. And they use a hashtag, accelerating impact. And I think that's kind of a slogan that encompasses that new policy from His Royal Highness the Crown Prince to really bring the knowledge and the development of KAUST, which is probably 20 years old now, I think, around there, into an era where it is becoming more and more like Stanford and Berkeley and these other California colleges. So I just want to give a shout out to Sir Edward Byrne. Good luck in your new job. And I believe it'll be good for the KAUST community. So very excited for him.
Congratulations to him. I have a few things to add to that, just because in addition to congratulating him, we were basically highlighting KAUST as this incredible place. So I also wanted to say that it was very sad earlier this summer. So in July, Dr. Najah, who was the vice president and senior advisor within the office of the president, passed away. She was an incredible force for change. I was honored to sit on a panel with her last year at the labor market conference in Riyadh, and she also hosted me at KAUST in the past to speak to the SUSRI students, those are the students that are joining right before they graduate, the summer before their senior year of high school, to work with scientists on different STEM projects. KAUST is such a cool place, and their entrepreneurship center is just phenomenal. And the type of support that a lot of these young scientists get to take their ideas to the next level and really kind of commercialize it or expand on what they're doing and find partners and corporate sponsors to help them accelerate their science and bring it into the mainstream is absolutely amazing. So they do some just really phenomenal work there. I'm a huge fan of the university. I believe it was founded in around 2010. So it's not quite 20 years yet. I'm not 100% sure, but I also had the honor of visiting right after they opened, because I, at the time, was with Rawabi as a corporate social responsibility manager, and our chairman, Sheikh Abdulaziz Turki, was invited to speak. And so I was on that kind of trip with him, a couple of the other senior members of the organization. So definitely, I'm not a scientist. I'm a natural scientist. I'm a social scientist, but I find the university to be just an incredible beacon of transformation. And their symbol, actually, they have this cool statue that they call the beacon. So I think it's very telling. It's a very cool place.
Well, I am a scientist. When I play golf and I get up to putt, I can read any green perfectly, and I think that's a science. Outside of that, I'm not either, but it is very impressive what they built in KAUST. KAUST was founded in 2009. I'm counting you as being more right than me, but still wrong, and it's about 15 years old now.
I was going to say 9 or 10, but okay, I thought, I know I went there in 2011 maybe, so I knew it was very new at the time.
Yes, and so Sir Edward Byrne, very very guy. He's a neuroscientist. He's been particularly strong in mitochondrial disease research. And of course, he was knighted. He's a knight, which is awesome. And that took place in 2020. So he's got quite the resume. He was principal of King's College London from 2014 until 2021. And in his personal life, he has a keen interest in fly fishing and classical music and poetry. And he has 4 books published on poetry, which is kind of amazing, through the Melbourne University Press. So using both sides of the brain, which is terrific. Love to see it. Sir Edward Byrne, congratulations. Dr. Hanaa, thank you very much.